Welcome, everybody, to episode 102 of Disney with the Ducks. Tonight, you've got me, John Kral. We've also got Jody,
Hi, friends.
Gene,
Howdy.
and Jeff.
Hey, everybody.
All right. So tonight, we want to first ask you guys to all just please go out and give us a 5-star review on Apple or Stitcher or wherever you want listen to our podcast. But go out there, give us a review, and make sure it's 5 stars because we really appreciate that. Jeff is furiously typing right now. I don't know why.
I'm going for the review.
Oh, okay.
I'm leaving that 5-star review, John.
Okay,
Sweet.
wonderful. Oh man, you freaked me out there for a minute. Okay, so give us a 5-star review and go over to our Facebook page, Disney with the Ducks, so that you can join in some of the fun conversation we have around Disney and some of our shows and that type of thing. All right, so tonight we are recording 1 week before Valentine's Day. So all of our favorite holiday, obviously, right? It's so fun. There's no pressure or anything. It's the perfect day. So tonight we're going to ask a question that has to do with love. Now, as someone who grew up in the 90s, I think in the prime of the rom-com era, we tonight are going to ask each of the ducks what your favorite rom-com is or romantic comedy, because it's something that's very close to my heart and I really enjoy those, even though they're a little bit predictable. But Jeff, we're going to start with you. What's your favorite romantic comedy?
I am a sucker for Sleepless in Seattle. You know, you got Meg Ryan, you got Tom Hanks, you got Rosie O'Donnell, you got Bill Pullman, not Bull Pillman.
Bull Pillman.
Right?
We're going to have both.
They could both
Good.
be in it. We don't know. Maybe he's uncredited. But it's just one of those feel-good movies. You know, you travel to the top of the Empire State Building, you just miss it by that much, but it all works out at the end. So, which I think I just summed up the plot of the rest of your movies.
Yeah, thanks. Well, it's funny you say Sleepless in Seattle because I picked one that is very, very similar to Sleepless in Seattle. Same, like even it has.
You've got
Tom
mail.
Hanks.
You've got
Meg
mail.
Ryan.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
you've got mail. Now, I love it because like Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan's characters meet because. He's out for a walk with like his niece and nephew or whatever, right? And she owns a little bookstore. It's one of those little cute neighborhood bookstores. But
When Harry
she
Met
doesn't-
Sally? Oh, different.
No.
Sorry.
Okay, so when Harry Met Sally, I'm gonna cheat here. You brought it up, Gene, so I'm gonna mention why I like that one so much. It's just I love how Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan kind of interact throughout that movie and just the whole story behind it. But I love that Harry has a bit of a dark side, like how when he talks about whenever he reads a book, he reads the last page first, just in case he dies. And just stuff like that when they're at the table in the restaurant and the lady at the other booth's like, I'll have what she's having. God, it's such a great movie. And then they end up together at the end and it's wonderful. And I love it. But you've got mail though. No, like how Tom Hanks's character, Joe Fox or whatever, he owns, his family owns like a big conglomerate chain bookstore. So, and she's this little shop owner, right? So she thinks he's trying to put her out of business and all that. But little did they know, they're communicating anonymously through email on AOL in the 90s, right? I mean, you can't get more 90s than that. So it's just a fun movie, and I really love both those actors. And Tom Hanks is one of the best actors ever. So yeah, so I'm going with that.
Meg Ryan was in all those good rom-com from the 90s. And I mean, she was You Got Mail, she was Sleepless in Seattle, she was Top Gun. I mean,
Yeah, she was in Top Gun.
just crushing
Who's his
those.
wife?
Yeah.
Oh man,
That one, they didn't get together in that one very long.
Proof of Life. She was in Proof of Life.
I have not seen that.
It's not a rom-com.
All right. Well, so Jeff and I have given ours. Gene, what is your favorite romantic comedy?
All right, so I want you to guess. Jeff likes games, so let's play a game.
Can
Okay.
you give her a brief synopsis? We'll see if we can pull it.
Brief synopsis, okay? Girl who's big time in the big city. She goes back to her hometown for something.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Wait. Okay, so never mind. So is it Sweet Home Alabama or is it every single Hallmark movie?
Well, both, but
Okay.
Sweet Home Alabama is a pretty
Yeah,
solid movie.
that's a good one. That's actually not my favorite. I just want to play the game. My favorite, not to take after John and
Right
choose more
now,
than
yeah.
one. The Proposal. It's just too funny.
Is that the one where they go back to Alaska for the wedding? And
Yeah.
she's like the corporate executive person that
Yep. His boss. He's
Sandra Bullock.
yes, Sandra
Oh.
Bullock and Ryan Reynolds and Betty White's in it. It's friggin' hilarious.
The Proposal. I gotta watch this because that
It's a good
sounds
one.
amazing.
Mhm.
I mean, just that cast is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That would have been my
Okay.
second guess on that one, Gene. I wasn't sure which one you were going, but I figured one of those two.
Mhm.
All right.
I was just
So
excited that you mentioned a movie that I've actually watched and I know the answer to the question. So I was excited that I knew Sweet Home Alabama.
So my wife doesn't watch movies much anymore, but used to. We watched everything, and so I mean, if we're going to a movie because they're funny, we'd see a lot of rom-coms, and there's a lot of good ones. Just a lot of funny ones. That in modern era, there's the Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. Just go with it. I think we saw that one at the movies. That one's pretty funny too.
that's the one where he's like a plastic surgeon or something, and she's just kind of tagging along with him because he broke up with his fiance or something, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
He's got a fiance. I think Brooklyn Decker is like his fiance or something, right? And young, she's a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
younger, and yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
they're funny.
God,
They're
such a
funny.
good movie. Yeah, Adam Sandler's in quite a few of them too. It's
Mhm.
crazy. All right, Jody, I think you're the one that I think people are most excited to hear from about this.
because I've actually watched a movie. Everyone is shocked.
Yeah.
My favorite romantic comedy has to be Notting Hill. I love Julia Roberts and I love Hugh Grant, and because they're in a movie together, and I just think it's cute. And there's some lines in that movie that I love, so it's my favorite. Notting Hill.
I've never seen it.
I have not either.
I
So
think
now I
have.
got to watch The Proposal and Notting Hill. Okay.
I also like 27 Dresses. I thought that was cute too, but I like Notting Hill better.
What about 50 First Dates? That's a
Oh,
good
that's a
one.
good one.
It is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then at the end, he makes her that video. Oh, it's wonderful.
Do they get together in the end? I don't remember.
Yeah. They're on
They
like a-
always do.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
always
That's
do.
true. That's
Trick
true.
question.
Okay, so we've been talking a lot about love and romance and having fun. And so that's the topic of tonight's show is if you could design a romantic day at Walt Disney World, what would you do? So, does anybody want to volunteer to go first?
I can set that bar real low for everybody.
Perfect. Yeah, and then we can just step right over that before we have to get to Jeans where we have to pole vault it.
Right? All right. So here's my plan. We stay at the Polynesian. So, John, I've already sold you. You know,
I'm yeah.
Are you
I mean-
trying to make a proposal here to John?
I think he is.
Let's see where we're going.
Jeff,
with this.
It has
you
the
already
word
buy the
Lapu
ring?
Lapu in it.
Is this happening? Did you already buy the ring?
I have not yet.
Oh,
So, all right. So we're
I'm a
staying
big
at the
one.
Polynesian.
Size 11.
We're going to get up early and we're going to do breakfast at Kona Cafe. You can get a nice little Tonga toast right there. Not a little buffet, but not doing quick service, but something light for breakfast.
Yeah. And they have that really good. They have like a coffee for two. It's amazing, like a slow pour one.
So, John, just wait. This is like your day. So
It's. I mean, you're on fire right now, Jeff.
Do they really
Like-
have coffee for two?
Yeah, it's really cool.
are
but
all
no,
coffees for two.
it's like
if you share?
$9 or something. Yeah, but I mean, whatever. But yeah, no, Jeff, this is going very well. If this is our first trip together, it's gonna be amazing.
All right. So after breakfast at Kona, we go back to the room, we get changed, and we go hit the pool for a while. Just a nice, relaxing morning at the pool for a little bit, have a few little poolside drinks, and just kind of start our day out nice and calm. From there, we're going to test our monorail over to Grand Floridian, do a light lunch at the Grand Floridian Cafe, and then we are going to hit the Grand Floridian Spa and do one of the little couples massages and just kind of relax there. And then from that, we are going to go upstairs at the Grand Floridian Cafe to the Enchanted Rose and start our monorail drink tour around the monorail loop. So we'll start the Enchanted Rose. We'll take the monorail over to Contemporary, go to the Outer Rim, maybe the Villains Lair or whatever it is if you're DVC and it's open. I don't know what time that opens all the time, but at least at the Outer Rim, and then finish that up at the Tambu Lounge, where John will get his Lapu Lapu.
Lapu Lapu.
Jeff, this night is going very well for you.
Somebody's going to
Just
get
telling
lucky.
you that right now.
So after the Lapu Lapu, we will go get redressed, and we will take a minivan over to Animal Kingdom Lodge, and we will grab dinner at Jico and have a nice dinner at Jico. There's my fireworks. Speaking of fireworks, after dinner at Jico, we're heading back to the Poly to watch Happily Ever After from the beach, with probably another drink from the Tampu Lounge in hand. So after finishing our Happily Ever After fireworks, back in the minivan over to the boardwalk, and we will dance the night away, shutting down Jelly Rolls about 2 o'clock in the morning before we collapse back in the room back at the Polynesian for the evening.
That's a
That's-
solid day.
That is my romantic day.
Jeff,
I
I
figured
had
limited park time because you can do parks on other times. We don't need the crowds and the people. There's so much other stuff to do around Disney World that we just avoid the parks for the day and just enjoy the resorts and keep it kind of quiet.
I had zero faith that you would have an actual romantic day, and you really wooed me there. So congratulations, sir.
You had me at Jico. So
Yeah.
It took you to Jico?
no, I liked Enchanted Rose and all the rest, but Jico I just think is this. It's dark and it's cozy and it's romantic and the food is unique but still familiar and it's
Right.
yeah. Yeah, Jico to me like screams romance.
And I loved your choice of Grand Floridian Cafe for a meal because I feel like that's such an underrated restaurant. The food's amazing. I've always had awesome service in there. And like the whole ambiance of it is just super cool. It's like classic Grand Floridian, like
Yep.
Victorian style. So yeah, that was a really good choice too.
All right. So I set that bar. Who's going to see what they can do after that?
Man, I'll go next because I know Gene still needs some time to think. And
Gene, I know
Choices.
I know I took your
Okay.
idea mostly. I'm sorry, Gene.
That's okay. You're fine.
all right, so I am staying at the Poly with Jeff. So when I'm actually going on a romantic trip to Disney, when we go for springtime surprise, I'm staying at Pop Century. But in this example, if I stay in anywhere, no budget, Dee and I are going to stay at the bungalows, and we're going to be at a Poly bungalow over the water. Perfect location. It's going to be amazing, right? We're going to wake up in the morning and we're going to go to Grand Floridian Cafe for breakfast. I just, like I said, when we were talking about with Jeff's, I love that place. Any meal I've had there has been awesome. And we've had breakfast and like a lunch or dinner there. And both times the food was amazing and great service. Just everything about it was cool. Plus I like going over to the Grand Floridian from the Poly because it's a nice walk and, you can have some coffee and walk along that path in the morning. I think that's kind of a really cool way to start the day. From there, we're going to go over and get a massage as well. So Jeff, I'm really with you on this one. But we're going to get
sure you two
a
are
nice.
going on this trip together?
We might be
I know.
if Jeff plays his cards right. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna get over there. We're gonna go to the spa and get like a little couples massage. I love pedicures now. Who knew, right? Being a girl dad, you figure these things out eventually. So we're gonna get pedicures after we get our nice spa treat or massage, and then we're gonna head over to Epcot and we're gonna walk around World Showcase and just kind of take in the ambiance of all the countries and everything and the different drinks and some of the different snacks and all that kind of fun stuff. Cause I think it's just such a cool walk, to go back behind a United Kingdom where they have that little stage. And then, back in Morocco, it's beautiful back there. So I think that's really cool. And then we could try all kind of different things. We're going to have an early dinner at Takumi Thai because I love Japanese food. I love Japanese drinks. And I've never gone there before because it's way too expensive to take my kids to, especially 5 of them. So, that's one of the places I really want to experience.
That's like that's the new one, right? The one
Yeah.
the
New
very
one, the-
expensive new one.
Kind
Yeah.
of off to the right there whenever you walk in.
Yeah. So I'm very pumped to go there. So that's where we're gonna go for like a real early dinner, and then we're gonna head over to Grand Floridian and grab some drinks at Enchanted Rose. So we're gonna be there as well because again, I really like the cool environments and stuff in some of these places and the atmospheres and everything. And I think Enchanted Rose, when I went there, I didn't appreciate it enough because I was by myself. So the only time I've had drinks there, I was by myself at it, and I mean it was fine. I loved the experience of it, but I think it would have been a really cool place for like a date night because it just feels like a classy cocktail lounge, so it's beautiful in there. The drink choices, I mean, they had a huge bourbon list. They had a lot of really good drinks, and then their mixed drinks were great too. So that's where we're going to have a couple drinks after dinner. Then we're going to go over to the Magic Kingdom for the fireworks, and we're going to do the afterwards dessert party so that we can have that extra time to get drinks at Enchanted Rose and stuff before, and then go see the fireworks and have the perfect viewing spot there in front of the partner statue and the hub. And then after the fireworks, go maybe grab a drink or two at the dessert party, get a few snacks or whatever. But then we're going over to Tambu Lounge, and we're going to have a Lapu Lapu. And then we're going to go downstairs to that outdoor tiki bar and sit there for a little while and have a couple of the fun drinks they have there, which are, I think, some of the same they have at Trader Sam's, just without the fun shows and stuff. But so we're going to sit out there.
Disneyland.
Yeah.
So it'd be like,
oh yeah, like you guys were talking about the Disneyland one, where they just give you the drink, and I mean it's a delicious drink, but part of it is you like the theatrics. I almost spilled my pop. So that's where we're gonna go, and then after that we're gonna go just back to the bungalow where we're gonna have a nice bottle of wine and just sit outside the bungalow and look at the lights in the Magic Kingdom and watch the boats go back and forth and just enjoy the warm Florida evening. So that's my plan.
It sounds like we're kind of on the same page, John.
Doesn't it though?
Right? We didn't share notes at all on this.
No.
But Jeff is shaking his booty on the dance floor.
Right?
That's why this is, Yep.
Yeah.
See?
Busting off the sprinkler. I can start the lawnmower.
Yeah, the shopping cart,
like
that sale item. Okay, we're not keeping this love train. We're not going through the love tunnel right now, So we got to get back on track. Okay, so Jeff has gone. I've gone. We're gonna give it to Jody next to see what Jody's romantic day is gonna be.
All right, so I think everyone assumed that my romantic day is going to be, blah, 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 and then they're going to go to this restaurant. So,
yeah, I was going to say just Vicky and Al's or something like that.
So I'm trying to be a little different here. So I'm coming up with a twist for all of you. So we're either going to stay at a tower room at the Riv if we have points left, or we're going to stay at the tower at Coronado. And there's a reason why I chose both those places, because we're going to sleep in. There's no getting up early on a romantic trip. We're going to sleep in. And each one of those resorts has a coffee bar in the resort, and you don't have to walk outside to get to the coffee bar. So that's incredibly important to making a nice morning happier and nicer, is making sure that everyone has the correct coffee of choice that they like. So at the Riv, it's Le Petit Cafe, and at Coronado, it's Barcelona Lounge. Both of them have amazing coffees. So we're just going to wake up leisurely, no rush to get anywhere, the exact opposite of a normal Disney vacation, have a coffee, and then we are going to head up to Steakhouse 71 for breakfast. And the reason why I chose Steakhouse 71 for breakfast is one important key offering on the menu: refillable mimosas for $20. So all you care to enjoy, refillable mimosas for reals for $20. Yeah. So to give you an idea, mimosas at oh my gosh, the restaurant that we all went to, Ale and Compass, are like $15, and you get one. These are refillable mimosas for $20. So that just seems like a lovely way to start the day. Plus,
I don't know that money's an object though, Jody, because I think that all the royalties from Disney with the Ducks is paying for this trip.
Absolutely. But they also have steak and eggs on the menu, which I figured, most men would like a nice hearty steak and eggs breakfast. So it just seemed like the right thing to do. So then after breakfast, we're going to, look around the Contemporary a little bit, but then we're going to take a nice leisurely stroll. Again, we're in no rush, nice leisurely stroll over to the Magic Kingdom. And you're all thinking, what? Magic Kingdom? That's not romantic. That's filled with kids. But we're going to do all the cute romantic things. We're going to take a picture in front of the castle. We're going to make a wish at Cinderella's wishing well. And we are going to ride a couple of rides. We're going to snuggle up on a couple of those, like the People Mover and a few of those dark rides like Pirates and Haunted. We're going to get squished together on Big Thunder. It's romantic. So after, a couple of just rides at Magic Kingdom, we're going to head over to Wilderness Lodge because I think that whole resort is just cozy and romance. And we're going to go to Territory Lounge, which, to be perfectly frank, I've never been to it before. They open at 4, so we figured we'll start there. That's not true. I've been inside, but I've never spent time there. So it seems like a perfect opportunity to spend some time. It's dark and cozy and warm and quiet and not a lot of kids. So after coming from the Magic Kingdom, that seems like a great place to kind of regroup and get all snuggly and romantic again. Then we're going to go back to our resort and we're either going to hop in the hot tub if we want to, or we're going to take a nap, whichever one sounds like the better choice. And now the big piece de resistance. I know you all think, again, you're going to go to a signature restaurant. No, we're not. We're not going to a signature restaurant because we had a little snack over at Territory Lounge and we had that big breakfast at Steakhouse 71.
Yep.
So I really wanted to go on the Fairy Tale Fireworks, a sparkling dessert cruise. However, it's not available right now. But let's pretend it is. If it was, they meet you at, it's coming back. It has to come back eventually, right? They meet you at the TTC. They pick you up 50 minutes before fireworks. They take you out on a sailing to watch the fireworks aboard a boat in the Seven Seas Lagoon. It has desserts and beverages. It's $130 per person, which I think is not bad. And then they bring you back. Now, okay. If that's not available and if money is truly no object, Gene, and this is sponsored by Disney with the Ducks, then forget it. I'm just renting the entire boat and I'm doing my own private sailing for $499, just the two of us. I mean, why not? So we're going to have our boat all by ourselves, go out and watch the fireworks. I mean, how romantic is that? Really? I mean,
yeah.
The other one, there were children on the boat, but this one, nobody, just us. So after the fireworks, I'm sure we're not ready to call it a night yet because, we did sleep in and we either sat in a hot tub or took a nap. So if we're going to the Riv, we'll probably just go back to a Magic Kingdom lounge. And here's the reason why. As I discovered on my last trip, the Riv Bar of Riva closes at 10, which is rather unfortunate. So you've got to find a lounge that is open a little later. So the Enchanted Rose is open to 11. And I think it's a beautiful location to have a nice nightcap or a nice evening. So that could be a choice. But if we're staying at Coronado, we'll just go back to Coronado because they have Dahlia Lounge up on the top floor, which is absolutely stunning. If you've never been there before, it's beautiful views, great service, and it's open till midnight. So depending on which resort we stay at, depends on which place we go. So that is how we're going to spend our evening. We're going to close down with a little nightcap and just take a little stroll. And if we're still up at Enchanted Rose, we'll take an Uber back to the resort. But if we're at Coronado, then we just have to take the elevator down to our room. So that is my little unique spin on a romantic day at in Walt Disney World.
I think I would enjoy that.
Yeah. I think the Steakhouse 71 breakfast, that is my favorite breakfast I've ever had at Disney, was there. It was like a combination plate that had eggs Benedict on it. It was so good. I loved it. So yeah, that place. And then Jeff, me and you and the Rothsteins and was anyone else there? Went there for dinner marathon weekend. That was really good too.
Yep.
Man. Yeah, that place, I think it's way underrated. But Jody, I agree with you about Magic Kingdom. Like there's something really romantic about the castle and just the main street and everything they have going on there. in that main street area, walking up to the castle and the hub, and it's just
Have
it
any
is
of you
super
made a
cool.
wish in Cinderella's wishing well before?
No,
No,
we have not.
Mm-mm.
So there you go. I mean,
is it on the back side of the castle?
no. So if you're
Oh.
looking at the castle, it's kind of to the right, like the pathway to the right leading up to the castle, kind of where Merida used to meet in that
Oh,
area.
It's the old
By
smoking place, actually.
it's what?
The old smoking place. That's
Oh.
where that was one of the
Oh.
smoking places in Magic Kingdom.
Oh,
Wow.
really?
Isn't that romantic?
yeah.
Right?
Just
Let's make a
walk
wish and walk
outside.
through the smoke.
Maybe that's why I didn't go there for many years, but I don't know. But yeah, Lindsay loves to take pictures there, but it is a pretty charming little spot. And not very many people are ever over there. So it's a nice place to get photos and just have a moment and just enjoy the ambiance and be with each other. So
Yeah.
I think that's one thing I meant to mention on mine that I left off is to take a lot of pictures when you're doing these romantic nights. Make sure you document it and have all those pictures taken the whole time.
Yeah.
I agree. And use the PhotoPass photographers, ask them. A lot of times they have magic shots and fun ideas and they'll do some interesting things if you ask them. So I would definitely encourage to use the PhotoPass photographers.
They're good at what they do. That's for sure.
They are
Yep.
very good at
Yeah.
what they do.
Yeah, and then Jody, another one you mentioned, I was surprised with when you said you were going to Wilderness Lodge. I thought you were going to end up at Geyser Point, just like sitting by the water and that type of thing. But Territory Lounge is a really cool place to go because it is
Yep.
kind of like it's a little bit more intimate and everything, right? Because it's not huge and open air. And they have really good drinks there and really good service there too.
I've only been there to do the hidden Mickey scavenger hunt. I've never spent any real time in there other than to walk through it and look at it and see what it was like. So I think it'd be really neat to actually spend a little bit of time. And again, Jeff, it kind of reminds me of Jico with kind of that dark wood and cozy. And, it's obviously Jico's a restaurant, so it's a lot bigger, but Territory Lounge is kind of small and quaint. And I don't know, it just seemed like a interesting place to visit on our tour of romance of Magic Kingdom or of Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
Well, both those resorts have the same sort of ambiance. I mean, they got the big fireplace, they got the feel. They're very similar in style, and so they kind of still both tie to that romantic ambiance.
Romantic ambiance.
Right. I'm killing it tonight, guys.
You are.
These like midweek things, I'm just like on fire.
You must just be worn out by the end of the weekend and ready to go back to work, and that's why
I think that's what it is.
we get the B squad, Jeff, on Sunday nights. All right.
All that's left, we get the leftovers.
Well,
From
speaking
Brother
of all
Love.
that's left, Gene, we're saving the best for last. Brother Love's Traveling Salvation Show. Why don't you tell us your romantic day at Disney? Did you
Yeah,
guys get my joke? Have you ever heard the song?
Yes.
Okay.
So I mean, probably gonna stay at Disney at All Star Movies, and just joking. I mean, I don't have a lot of experience other places, but Jody, you kind of stole mine, which I think there's plenty of rooms. So I think that just from what I've heard, and when I think I've eaten maybe at a restaurant at Disney's Wilderness Lodge, I think that's where I want to stay. I think that would create the best ambiance, as you say, Jeff. My disclaimer here is that I'm not good at the romantic stuff, and it's good because my wife she's not really into all that. I've tried, and it's just not. So this is going to be just a great, fun Disney day. There's no roses. There's no flowers. There's no, mariachi band or a violinist at the table. None of that. We're just having fun. We're going to laugh and cut up and have a great time all day, because that's romantic for us, So we're going to stay, I think, at the Wilderness Lodge, but maybe not. It could be, because we're going to end up we're going to go to Guardians first. We're going to get the earliest virtual queue we can, because I have not ridden that ride enough, and that's going to start my day off in a great place. And then after working up a good appetite, we're going to go to my favorite breakfast place of all time. Where is it, Jody? Do you know? Nobody
Montrose
knows?
Roasters?
No.
Ale and Compass.
Ale and Compass.
Yeah.
You got it.
The
I'm eating
pancakes.
blueberry pancakes,
Yeah.
man. That's
After
the
you
way
use
I'm.
all the hand sanitizer, though, after you get off of Guardians, right?
Yeah, that's fake news. That's not what that was about. I'm sure. But after getting my fill of pancakes, I'm going to ride some more rides, man. I'm gonna work up another appetite because we're gonna eat some good stuff today, right? We're gonna spend some time at Galaxy's Edge. We're gonna ride Smuggler's Run and Rise. Maybe I'm going to beat Christy at some Toy Story Mania. Probably get beat, but whatever. At some point during this day, I'm eating some fried chicken, maybe some meatloaf. I don't know it at 50's Primetime Grill, because I really like that restaurant and I think it'd be a good thing for us, you know.
Wait, can you guys get a peanut butter and jelly shake for dessert and share like with 2 straws out of the same milkshake?
Whoa, wait, Jody, are you asking Gene to cheat on Kevin?
I'm
You want
actually-
the man to share a shake with someone that's not Kevin?
I'm actually a little disappointed that you didn't go straight to Sci-Fi Drive-In for that.
Yeah.
You went to 50's for that.
Well,
What's more romantic than sitting in the back of a 57 Chevy watching some old B-rated?
Not much. Trying to convince yourself that you're really not feeling bad when you can feel the gurgling in your stomach. That's part of the whole deal. You know what I mean? Making a day of that. Probably just the way we're hitting in the time of year we're going to pick this. We're going to be hitting ride after ride after ride, and we're probably going to get a chance to go to jump from Hollywood, maybe move on to Epcot and or maybe Animal Kingdom, maybe ride Yeti. Maybe it's obviously it's not called Yeti. I know what it's called, but that's just what my family calls it. The Yeti ride, Flight of the Phoenix, you know, the Avatar ride, you know, we're going to do that. We're not eating early though, because we had a late lunch. We've had a lot of food. So we're going to ride all the rides we can. And then we're going to go to California Grill, man, because I've not eaten there, but you guys talk about it. So I'm going to give it a shot. Either that or the place at Disney Springs that Jeff, you talk about, you know, the somebody on the wait staff. That's the other thing that I couldn't think of the name of, and I could not
Wine
find
Bar
it on
George.
Google Machine. Yep, Wine Bar George. Either California Grill or Wine Bar George. Have a fantastic dinner, and you got to finish it off with ice cream because that's how we do things. So we're going to my favorite spot. This is where it gets romantic. We got the moonlight glistening off the Crescent Lakes, getting an ice cream sundae or whatever. Maybe it's a shake. Probably not 2 straws because Christy and I don't eat the same thing. It's okay though. We're going to do that. Probably go back to the room because about 6, Christy starts yawning, but maybe not. We might go to Jelly. We might join you at Jelly Rolls because that's one place that I love. And just, maybe just jam the night away at Jelly Rolls and until, maybe 10 or so,
Dude, I like it, Gene.
It's
like
a pretty good day, isn't it?
It is.
It's pretty awesome because it's you guys, right? It's like unique to how your relationship is, and that's
For
the
sure.
most important thing, right? I mean, like,
There's a good possibility we're getting ice cream other times during the day because that's just how we're made,
Okay, here's an important question.
Okay.
Do you share each other's ice cream, or do you each get your own and not even take a bite of the other person's ice cream?
If I don't get my own, there's a good chance there's some left over for me to finish. And it's not uncommon for us but we eat different. We just often eat different things. It's just the way it is.
Man.
See, we always have to get like, oh, you're getting that, and then I'll get this, and then we split halfway through, so we have the best of both worlds. We have to always share, Tim and I.
I'm down with that, but it just doesn't always work out like that.
Man, Wine Bar George, that's a place I really want to try when we go down for springtime surprise, because I've never been there either because I always have all the kids with me. So when it's just, adults going, I really want to experience it that way. So I'm not constantly chasing my 2-year-old around.
I know it.
Well, you can't eat these because they would kill you, but Jean and Christy can. The mac and cheese balls are absolutely to die for. And I'm not a huge mac and cheese person. I think mac and cheese is overrated, but these are
what?
delicious.
Time out. We're throwing a flag.
Right.
I mean, I've had a lot of mediocre mac and cheese. Like I make
No
a pretty
such
good
thing.
mac and cheese, but it's got to be gooey, ooey, delicious mac and
Yeah.
cheese. None of that.
Who would have
crap.
ever thought we kicked Jody off before Gene?
I know, right? Good Lord. The mac and cheese is there's only two categories, right? There's really good mac and cheese and there's amazing mac and cheese.
Right.
You know? You got to come up here, Jody, because we have a couple of like barbecue places around here that best macaroni and cheese I've ever had in my life.
If it's good and cheesy, I'm all for it. But if it's like places that make it fancy and just use a bechamel and don't use enough cheese, that's not mac and cheese. That's just pasta with.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not. No, nobody likes that.
And
I'd
I feel
rather
like
have
the fancy
the powdered
restaurants,
crap.
it's the fancy stuff isn't as good as like it needs to be creamy and rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's
Covered in
what.
bacon.
Oh, or lobster mac and cheese. Oh my. Whew, whew, man,
I know.
lobster mac.
Now
and
we're
cheese.
talking love language.
That's my thing.
Oh God, it's literally like one of my favorite foods ever because it takes the two best things ever and combines them.
So do you eat a gluten-free pasta when you eat it now, John?
Yeah. There's a couple places around here that have really good gluten-free mac and cheese. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, so it's pretty solid. I'm a big fan.
Sorry, Gene. I have no idea how we got off on mac and cheese when we were talking.
I mean,
about
that's what
cheese
we do.
balls.
That's what we
Weinbar
do.
George was Weinbar George was
Weinbar
one of the
George.
places
That's how
Gene
we-
mentioned. I've never been to California Grill. Is it
Nope.
is it worth going to? Is it that romantic?
I think
Oh.
so.
Okay.
If you go at sunset and you have if you get Walter as your server because he's amazing, and you go at sunset and you watch the sun go down, and it's just a nice leisurely meal. And there's some things there that I dream about, like certain food on the menu that's that good. So
Wow. Okay.
it is the polar opposite of
Napa Rose.
Napa Rose.
So, gosh, there's so many restaurants I want to try on this one day that we have. Man, we really need it has to be like a romantic 3 weeks. Just no kids, just 3 weeks at Disney. That's what I think we need here, right? To do all the things we all want to do.
Right.
Because everything you guys all mentioned too, it was like, man, yeah, that's another thing I want to do. Like Gene, you're talking about like walking around, just having fun, getting snacks and stuff. I'm like, that is awesome too. Like a nice walk in the park is at at home. Oh, gosh.
Maybe try to
and then-
see. You know what I think I might would really do though. I might maybe because I just downloaded the Chat GPT app. Somebody told me they were planning trips using it, and so I would put that into to Chat GPT and see what it gave me back as far as like an itinerary, and just kind of see what happens. You know, I could have thought of that beforehand and done that today, but I didn't.
Right.
Just let the robots be romantic for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
And make sure
That's
you
what
say
they want,
please and
Jeff.
thank you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what they want. You're playing right into the robot's hands. Man. You just might as well invite them in. Just say, hey, robots, take us over. Come on. Okay. So that was pretty solid. You know what? One thing nobody mentioned was Victoria and Albert's. And I was surprised by that because it's one of those places I've always wanted to try, but there's absolutely, I don't even think you're allowed to take kids in there. So, there's no chance I'm ever going to try it unless I'm down there without kids. But I don't know. Like the idea of getting dressed up at Disney to me, I think is what threw that one off. But having to wear a jacket in Florida. But okay. That was the only real surprise. Were any of you guys surprised by something somebody else said or one of the ideas that was brought up? No? Yeah. Well, Jeff and I, obviously, we are in tune here. So if you guys see us together hanging out on the deck of one of the bungalows, then just send us a drink over.
Massage and pedicures. And...
Yeah, it's gonna be.
It's
gonna be
that's
pretty
not
awesome.
weird. I mean, it's really,
No.
really, really and truly, like Lonnie and I have often said, it's not weird for two grown men to, leave their families at home, go do Disney race, go hang out at Disney and run races. This is just the next step. You know what I mean? It's not that much weirder.
And you wonder why Jody had questions.
Oh man. All right. So thank you everybody for listening thus far. Now we're gonna go over to one of our favorite segments of the show, and that's quacking up with the ducks. So Gene, what's going on with you? Anything fun going on in life?
Nothing at all. Absolutely nothing. I don't have anything anything to share. Absolutely not. I might in a minute, but you have to give me a minute because
Okay.
it's been a tough day.
Okay. Jody, what do you got for us tonight?
Well, we're talking about love and romance and all those wonderful things and how sweet it is. So it made me, think, do you know what Cupid's favorite band is?
Hmm.
Anyone?
No.
Kiss.
Oh,
Oh, Kiss is pretty solid too, so
Yeah,
that's a good
that
one.
was great. I actually don't like the band Kiss, but that was a great joke. So
You don't?
no,
Why?
I don't
Is
know.
it because Gene Simmons is kind of creepy?
He's a little creepy.
Okay. No, that's fair.
Anyway,
That's a fair.
It was a good joke. I mean, Cupid
Yeah.
likes Kiss, so that's a great band for Cupid.
For sure.
All right. Well, with Kiss, we can say, Jeff, I hear you calling with your joke. You guys get it like Beth, I hear you calling from Kiss?
Yes,
Okay.
we got it.
we got
I
it.
wasn't sure if it was, Okay.
But so speaking of love and romantic things, a long time ago, I dated a goalie on a soccer team, and I had a really tough time breaking up with her. She was just a keeper.
That's a good one.
Oh man. So I was talking to Dee the other day, and I'm like, you're like dandruff because I just cannot get you out of my head no matter how hard I try.
Yeah, poor D. That's not very nice to call someone dandruff. There's nothing romantic about that. Please don't.
No, it's a funny joke. Okay, here's a better one.
It's a funny joke, but it's not romantic.
It's funny. No, it's not romantic. That's gross. I would never actually say that. This is from the Google machine. But then, okay, so how about this? Do you like this one better? How did the telephone propose to its girlfriend?
He gave her a ring.
Yes.
Ah,
He gave her
nice.
a ring.
Not
John, scroll down just a little bit on that site. We're two
Jeff,
for two.
this is 2 weeks in a row that you got
We're
John's
2 for 2
score.
here, John.
I know.
Oh man.
not
Gotta
Who's
Who's
there?
there, Gene?
Frank.
Frank who?
Frank you for letting me on the be on the show with y'all.
Oh,
Oh, you're welcome, Gene.
Thanks, brother love.
Thank you for being here and making us think of Neil Diamond. I mean, anytime you think of a Neil Diamond song, you smile. It's hard not to. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening to our show about romance and love. And we would love it if you guys would go out and give us a 5-star review and share our Facebook page with your friends. If you have anybody in your life who loves Disney as much as you do, send them on over to the Disney with the Ducks page so that we can have some discussions and have some fun over there. And why don't you come over there after you listen to this episode and tell us about your favorite or your most romantic day that you could design at Disney, and we can see what some of our listeners have to say about other ideas, because I know if you've got a trip coming up with your significant other and you want to have some fun, this episode is perfect for you, and all the comments from all the members of the duck community will help you plan your trip too, so make sure you check that out as well. With that, I'll say Kwaherini.
Also, the opinions expressed within this podcast are the opinions of the individual ducks who express said opinions, not the opinion of the ducks as a whole. To be clear, Disney with the Ducks takes no responsibility whatsoever for anything whatsoever. Also, this podcast is copyrighted by Disney with the Ducks for the private use of our audience. It can't be copied, reproduced, publicly shown, or broadcast without the express permission of Disney with the Ducks. But to be honest, who would really want to do that anyway?
Thank you,
well,
Gene.
good night, everybody.
Bye, friends.
That's why I didn't have a joke, because I was doing that. Gosh, dog it. Don't ever call me first, John. You always do that to me. I don't know.
Sorry.
Knock knock. Who's there? Frankie.